what's interesting is these people will have you in and they'll pick your brain about the 20 things that you would do as a marketing guy or whatever. And then they'll go hire someone for $8 an hour who, they'll try to get all that work out of. And it never works out. NASCAR is dead. Completely dead. The Brickyard 400 is on today, and I'm looking at it on my computer. There's 13 people in the stands. 13. Used to be huge. I mean, this is Chicago. This is a big, big place. And there's 13 people in the stands. I've not watched NASCAR in years, really. I mean, a couple of years ago, I was really into it, and I love going to the races. Man, it was right after that, it just cratered. I don't know why. The point is this. Last year, in the first of this year, I was actually in discussions with Homestead-Miami Speedway to become the director of marketing for that speedway. They do a lot of different events throughout the year. It's not just the one time that they have the race, although everybody knows them for the race. They do a lot of stuff throughout the year, and they needed a director of marketing, and I had really good conversations with them. But the reason I wanted to work for them, obviously, is I am a NASCAR fan, and go Jimmy Johnson. But it didn't work out. And it's really interesting in some ways because I don't know who they hired, and it's none of my business who they hired. Most of the places that don't hire me end up hiring a couple of people. In other words, they'll hire a marketing person, and then they'll have to hire someone to help that marketing person because the marketing person can't do. It's happened over and over. I have seen it all over Southwest Florida. If I don't get hired, then they hire someone else on the cheap because they're trying to save money or whatever, they end up having to hire two people because they need someone to help the person who they hired do whatever job it is that person can't do. And so, in Southwest Florida in particular, just let them keep hiring cheap people. It's costing them more money because the cheap people can't do the job. But something else happens is every time I think I'm going to get a job somewhere, and I would love to name names in Southwest Florida of the people that I've come close to going to work for, I don't get the job, and sure enough, a couple of weeks later or a couple of months later, something terrible happens at those places that I would have had to account for in the media, on the press, in the news. I've already been on the news enough in Southwest Florida trying to protect a place, and everybody knows all that. I didn't get a job at a place that I lobbied to get a job there. I thought it would be great. I went so far as to have my ex-boss call the owner of this place and the daughter-in-law. I had everybody I knew talked to the owner of this place about me becoming the marketing guy because I'm perfect. I would be perfect for that job. There's 3 restaurants involved, several bars. There's hotels. I mean, it would be great. And I didn't get the job. And 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later, something like that, someone was shot there. And that's not the only place. I mean, it happened at another place, a marina-style place. And I'm not going to name these names, but it happened at a marina-style place. I didn't get a job there, and I had met with the owners, and, we had really good discussions and talks. And, what's interesting is these people will have you in, and they'll pick your brain about the 20 things that you would do as a marketing guy or whatever. And then they'll go hire someone for $8 an hour who, they'll try to get all that work out of. It never works out. But sure enough, this other place, I thought, I want to get this job, and it'll be great. Somebody else got shot, and it's not me that's doing the shooting, it's whoever, It's just weird how I've been protected in that sense. I don't get the job. I'm disappointed about not getting the job because I'd be perfect with a job. I'd do a great service to these people if I could just go to work for them. And for whatever reason, it doesn't work out. And whoever does get the job has to deal with a whole bunch of crap, which they're totally unprepared to deal with. I mean, not that anybody's prepared to deal with someone getting shot or someone getting stabbed on property or something, but crisis communications, it's a tough business. So anyway, it's just funny to me. The point about this is NASCAR's dead. Completely, teetotally, 100%, unmitigated, without question, dead. And the Homestead-Miami, it didn't work out for me as the marketing guy there. And sure enough, a couple of weeks later, they announced that NASCAR was no longer, that racetrack was no longer going to be the final race of the year, which has been forever. So now they're going to be like at a midsummer race next year. That track, literally within a couple of weeks of me not getting the job, lost all of its luster. It's just amazing how that works out. But anyway,